Hey everybody, it's me, Steve Schnee, and welcome to Bet You Never Heard This 80s Album Before. This is a show where I pick 5 relatively obscure albums by relatively obscure bands, and I tell you just a little bit about them, and I play about a minute-long medley featuring music from these albums. Now, if you are indeed familiar with the albums that I'm about to talk about, then you are either A, me, B, somebody who I know very well, C, a member of the band, or D, extremely groovy. So let's start this episode off now. I bet you never heard this 80s album before. First album we're going to talk about is Horizontal Brian. It's a British band, and they put out an album called Vertical in 1983. This is quirky, melodic. It fits perfectly into that whole new wave thing, but there's a little bit of XTC in there. There's also a little bit of the melodic flair of Squeeze. There's a lot of different influences, but it's distinctly British, obviously because of the accents. But it's great. Lots of great songs on this album. One of the songs, either Everybody Wants to Be American or Practicing First Aid, did get some airplay here in the States, but generally it's never been released on CD, but you can find it out in the wild. I highly recommend you check it out. Horizontal Brian, Vertical.
Everybody wants to be American. Even Harty on the telly thinks American. Brooks and Stone, Inspector Stone, will settle down in Washington, expecting to be left alone with Ronnie Biggs far, far away. La 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 la. Well, she was only practicing first aid. Oh, she was only practicing first aid. Oh, 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 oh. If it wasn't for the boots and trousers they supplied, I'd resign and hang my problems out to dry. Well, maybe Monday will be my lucky day. I've got a chosen career. The trouble is I'm in my 24th year, and surprise, surprise, I've never been a working man. Never been a working man.
And now let's head over to New York. I bet you never heard this 80s album before. Let's talk about a band called the Nitecaps. This is a band that was started by John Xavier, who was formerly bass player for Richard Hell and the Voidoids. This is a pop soul band, horn section, just great, wonderful, powerful. John has this growl in his voice, very soulful, but rock. It just hits you in the face. Lots of great songs. This album actually came out on Sire Records. The album by the Nitecaps was called Go to the Line. It came out in 1982.
You just come back cause you think you see the same old fool that I once used to be. It's the same situation, but it's just a different me. Oh, hide, 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 baby. Go to stay around here comes from the subway there. Hide, 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 baby. The coldest day that we could have would just seem heaven sent. Already said that we're better off left unsaid. Cry like tears, you can cry in any color, but that doesn't mean that I still have to believe it.
Now let's head back to Britain. I bet you never heard this 80s album before. Let's talk about a band called New Musik. This is a band led by singer-songwriter, multi-instrumentalist Tony Mansfield, who went on to produce Captain Sensible and Naked Eyes and Aha and tons of albums. New Musik was one of the first bands that blended both synthesizer and 12-string acoustic guitar. The songs were incredible, definitely influenced by everyone from the Beatles to ELO to, all the singers and songwriters that were able to craft perfect melodies. Now, the first album from 1980 and their second album from 1981 were not released in the US, but what they did is they took some of the songs from each album and they put it together on an American-only compilation called Sanctuary, and incredible. There was no band like them before, nor has there been a band like them ever since. This is new music and their album Sanctuary. Let's head over to Scotland. I bet you never heard this 80s album before. Positive Noise. They originally started off as a post-punk band. The lead singer left and formed a band called Leisure Process. The remaining members of the band continued, and they went in more of a synth-pop funk direction, and I absolutely love their second and third albums. Great songwriting. The first album was released here in the U.S. It's called Change of Heart. Had a lot of different flavors on it. Some of it was minimalist, and some of it was really built up funky, and it's really a fantastic album. Positive Noise, Change of Heart came out in 1982.
I feel the fear. Someone whispers in my ear. I feel the fear right now. I feel the fear. Moving closer, standing here. I feel the fear right now. Obsession. How can I let you know my love for you? Obsession. How can I let you know my love for you? Positive, negative, lose or win. Positive, negative, love walks in. Positive, negative, come what may. Positive, negative, love come to stay. Lost in the vision, and now I'm forced to stay away. We're all on exhibition, and guilt is a price that we must pay. I'll make you pay and pay and pay and pay and pay. Take her away.
And we're going to head back to the UK again for the fifth and final album of this episode. I bet you never heard this 80s album before. This is a mod band by the name of the Lambrettas, and this is one of definitely my top 20 favorite albums of all time. Now, the Lambrettas do remain popular amongst the mod fans. They didn't really catch on here in the US, but their first album was released here. The album was called Beat Boys in the Jet Age, and this album is chock full of great guitar pop. It's mod, it's power pop, and believe it or not, the album was released on Rocket Records, which was Elton John's label. So he was trying to get into the groove here, and this was an incredible album. Unfortunately, didn't do much here in the US, but they are still remembered and one of the greatest of the mod bands. Again, I'm talking about the Lambrettas and the album Beat Boys in the Jet Age from 1980.
Tonight, at least you can just dance. I want you more than I can stand. Dance with me tonight, at least you can just dance. I want you more than I can stand. Well, you can move, but you better not touch poison. Loves him because he's got a cocaine. And I really wish I had a cocaine. Big boys in the jet age, too restless to contain. Big boys in the jet age, and the sun remains the
Well, that's it. I hope that this episode introduced you to some great bands you may have missed way back in the 80s, 40-something years ago. Whoo-wee! Thank you so much for spending time with me. I really appreciate it. Remember to like, comment, share, subscribe. Ring that bell for future notifications. It helps my algorithms too, and I really appreciate you. And until the next time, remember me. I'm Steve Schnee, the CD Junkie.